wanna grow so tall. I wanna tangle up my twisted limbs with yours. I wanna lose track of the time I spent without you. It's time to make you lose.
Hey everyone, it's Christina from American Red Flower Farm. I just wanted to show you guys a couple of volunteer pumpkin plants that I have growing wild, that I have growing in my backyard, my front yard, and yeah. So this pumpkin, I think there's actually one or two right here. There may be even three plants. Last year we carved pumpkins in the backyard, and when we were done, we washed the pumpkin seeds down over here into this grass area. And then in April, around April or May, they started sprouting up. There were several, these were the only ones that made it. And it's just a basic pumpkin, just a basic jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. Super neat how plants will grow on their own without you having to do anything at all. This one has yet to grow any pumpkins on it. It's flowering, and pumpkins, I know that pumpkins they'll throw out the male flower first, and then they throw out female flowers after they've already been throwing out male flowers. And so it just started putting out female flowers, and I have not yet seen, well, there's one right here actually, but it's not open yet. Here's a good example. Can you see it? So this one here is a female, it's gonna be a female flower. That pumpkin will not grow unless this flower gets fertilized by a male flower. This bed here is the furthest bed in my garden area. This one is very eclectic. All of my garden beds are very eclectic. So these here are bachelor's buttons, which are way done, need to be pulled out. I'm gonna do, in the fall, I am going to do a cover crop in all of these beds. And so all of this will be, most of this will be pulled out. The perennials will stay in here. I have bachelor's buttons, there's some delphinium, there is yarrow, there is salvia, there is mint, there is yarrow, there is statice, there is nicotina, and I know there's more.
Nigella?
Yes, there's some leftover nigella in here. And Godacia.
Godacia?
I don't remember how it's pronounced.
That's this pink one here.
And
that's the Godacia.
And there is a pumpkin. So a few years ago, we used our pumpkins from Halloween. We put them out in the garden. We put them in this bed because this has always been my vine bed. We put the pumpkins out here. We let them rot. They didn't rot all the way. And so come April, or in the springtime, we cut the tops off of them and we filled them with dirt and watered them. And we grew pumpkins that year from that method of just filling the pumpkin with dirt. And last year we had no pumpkins out here in this bed, but this year we've got this gigantic pumpkin vine. And it is also flowering. However, I do not think that there are any pumpkins growing on it yet. It doesn't look too healthy right here. It may need more water. It may have some disease. Oh, there's also foxglove in here. Let me just look to see if there's any hidden pumpkins. Oh, there's a female flower. Right there's a female flower. It's long. It's really oblong. There's one more volunteer pumpkin that I want to show you guys. Okay, so now we're in the front yard. So this one I think I showed you guys in the front yard garden tour. This one came from a pumpkin that grew last year here that was a volunteer from the year before. So this is like a grandchild. I don't remember what variety this one was. I don't remember if it was like a fairy tale pumpkin being a white one, or if it was just a basic ordinary pumpkin. We only got one pumpkin out of the plant last year. However, we've got multiple plants here this year. So hopefully we get more this year than we did last year. It started, I don't think it gets enough sun right here. And so it started growing later in the season. I had to treat the plant a few different times because it was severely damaged by disease. And so this year it looks a lot better than it did last year. There's some browning on those leaves, but it looks a lot better overall. You can see the difference. This is a much smaller pumpkin than the ones that are in the backyard. The leaves are a lot smaller, like half the size. I mean, in the last one we looked at, that one is probably 4 times the size of these leaves, which I'm assuming means that that pumpkin will be a lot bigger. And so I don't think that there are any pumpkins growing on here yet. Last year I hand fertilized it with a paintbrush. I came out here and I kept an eye on the flowers and waited for there to be female flowers opened up, and so then I went through with the paintbrush and dry brush the male flower to the female flower.
If I don't have to, I don't wanna lose your love. If I don't have to.
It actually looks like it has disease. It's diseased. Oh, shit. They just grew on their own. They just grew on their own.